Hi, it's Beverly Cole, and I'm here in my studio with JJ, and I'm going to be working on my collage. The entire background was done last week while I was sitting in my booth in the RV, and I was ripping and tearing all of the things that I saved from everywhere we went. And where George played golf, different campgrounds, restaurants, and historical areas. And I also added some texture. It's just kind of something I really love, the corrugated cardboard. Everything was pretty much hand torn. I just like that look. Now here you can see some of my edges are gonna have to be sanded off. So I'm gonna do that right now. And what I do that with is a file from, I think I got it at Sally's Beauty or something. And they work really well for this. So I'm just going to sand the edge right off. It's just an easy tool to use. And you can use a sanding block or whatever, but this just works for me. And I kind of enjoy it. As funny as that might sound, it's fun. This is a medium, so that's probably why it's not working so great for this. But you can sanitize these and everything too, although I don't think I'd recommend using it on your nails after you use it to do this. Come on. So I decided with this one that I want to use a special technique on the edges, so I'm getting rid of all of this. Let me explain a little more about what I have here. You know, when you go into all of the different visitor centers and everything, of course you get books, and those, you know, pamphlets, books, those things are really great for ripping out pictures, the maps, anything that they give you. I save all of it and I put it in a bag and I bring it home. What is also included here, you can see some handwritten, and that's really cute. That's from a harvest host we stayed at, hand-drawn map, so I included that. And this is my base layer. When you do a collage, nothing can be so important that you can't cover it up. So just doing this part gives me a base. And I'm going to take this base and I'm going to make it go back. And the way I'm gonna do that, I'm going to take some white gesso and I'm just gonna white out this background. I'm just going to pour my gesso right in the middle. I'm not even gonna worry about where it's gonna go. I got this at, what's that place called? It'll come to me. All right, so I'm just taking this and I'm just whiting out, including the cardboard. This is just one way of doing it. And I like to just enjoy the process. So, okay, this will work. This time we're gonna do this. You can do this with also, if you wanna just vintage, make the whole background brown with some, you know, you could take some ink. You could just take some paint and you can just push it back that way, or a stain. I wanna do it this way. I'm gonna just lighten everything. You'll still be able to see a little of it, you know, just the gist of it. This is thick gesso and I'm noticing it's a little hard to spread. So I think I might add a little water. It might smooth out for me. Yeah, that's better. Thick can be nice too. All right, so we cover the whole thing. So this is water-based, obviously, and as a water-based product, I will be able to erase, so to speak, part of the gessoed background, so that if there's anything I want to see before I use my next layer, I will wipe this away. The gesso also gives you a layer, like an acrylic protective layer, so when you add other things, you're not going to reactivate this. It's going to be set. So you want to do that, move things off. I'll show you in a second what I mean. I'm almost done. And you can see how you still can see, you know, kind of like a hint of the background, but other than that, you've pushed everything back. So it gives you a clean slate for your next layer. So I'm going to use baby wipe, but these have really dried out, so I've got to reactivate that. So I know right here that I want to see this guy a little bit better. So I'm gonna kind of just move some of that gesso away. Then up here I've got the, you know, different things. Dobbin House, that was a restaurant we went to. Miller's, Cole, Thousand Trails, Bridges. You know, I can bring things out that maybe I would want to see later. I'm going to also add more, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time, so I'm gonna just spray some water right there. So that's pretty much, yeah, that's it. That's enough for me to bring forward. Now I've got my nice background with the maps and everything, and I can continue a little bit of a map. I'm having a hard time stopping. Okay, now the next layer is coming. The second step of my collage is adding the layer of images for my story. When I do a collage, I like it to tell a story. It might be a little subtle, but this one is not going to be subtle. This one is about our first season of camping in our RV. So what I'm going to do here is I'm in Open Office. So what I'm going to do here is, since Open Office only allows me to add one picture at a time, I'm going to choose one picture at a time. Some of these might be cropped later on. Just keep adding pictures from my file. Okay, I will print these off. Print, best, thick paper, okay, and they will print, and that's that. Okay, so here we are with the collage with the white gesso over it, and I have printed out some pictures of our trips, our early trips. Ooh, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. It's so much fun. But you know, with the style that I have, I really do like to tell a story, but I don't want to make this just pictures of us plastered on this background. So I want to make some little vignettes here and there. So what I'm going to start with are some of the pictures, and I like to tear, but I also want to put them in strategic spots. Like right down here, I've got this little camper, if you remember, so cute. And all of this is from all of the paraphernalia that I saved. And I'm just going to show you a quick picture of some more paraphernalia that I haven't used yet. So here we have it, you know, directories and maps and all kinds of little things that I've collected along the way from our trip. Even a bag from one of the places that we like to have breakfast at one time on our trip, usually on the way home. So that's what the background's made out of. Now here I have some of these pictures, but I also still have the maps and things to add. So what I'm going to start with first is placing some of these pictures to make a little vignette. And down here in this corner with this camper, I found a couple pictures. I've got one here of George working outside and JJ sitting in my studio looking out the window. And then this was one of us I snapped of just cows in a field right next to the campground. This one here is from Jamestown, and you see the girl has a mask on, but I just thought her outfit was so awesome. And the mask just makes it, you know, because it just paints a picture of the time. And I have a few more. So what I want to do is start right down here with this picture of George and the background. And then I thought what would be cute was to put these cows in kind of in the background too. So I love this, but I don't need all of this. And that is a camper right there. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just put it over this, but then I lose JJ down here. So I have to decide where I'm going to put this. And then the cows. I think the cows I could just kind of tear right now and put them in the background a bit, like right there. And then this, maybe not right here in this picture. So this will be really cute. This girl goes a lot with all of the stuff here, Gettysburg and everything. So I could put her here. I'm gonna tear some of the picture off and just kind of fit it along. I don't wanna lose too much of that ship, but just put her along here somewhere, right along in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I think that might look good there. So I just work at telling my story with these pictures. And it's good to start with plenty of stuff. That way you can pick and choose what you want to use. So I also like to play with the lines You know, I automatically picture that rule of threes, which is going to divide this into 9 little squares, like a tic-tac-toe board. It happens to me regularly that I automatically will set things, and you'll see that as we go along. Well, here's some more. So I'm going to cut those apart because I don't want to accidentally tear something. So let's start with a good picture, and then I can tear. Home is where we park it. That's 2 pictures. What am I doing? That's cute. I'm wondering if I'm gonna rethink this whole thing. Home is where we park it. So cute. Home is where we park it. The hard thing is to not overthink. Now I can just put that right down here. And then the wine, let's see. We did visit some wineries, so this is George driving, and JJ is sitting there. He enjoys the adventure so much. George plays golf, his birthday breakfast, and his breakfast. So here we have the home is where we park it. This is our country road stand. This is Gettysburg, pictures of George, and my cats. This is my Elmer's. It's in a container. All right, so we're going to start. And I just put glue. No water, just glue. Okay, and I'm going to attach these. Now these first pictures, I'm not doing any inking on the edges. I'm just placing these pictures where I believe I will want them. Some edges are torn, some are not. Doesn't matter really at this point. So you can just put the glue on the back, or you can put the glue on the surface. And it's like Mod Podge, so we're gonna do that. Right. And you know, printing these pictures out on a printer, these days we have it so easy, don't we? You don't have to send anything off to be printed for us. Remember those days when you used to have to send your film off somewhere or bring it somewhere, and then only the pictures that were decent, and most of them were good, but then there'd be a few that they didn't even bother printing them because they were so bad. They were blurry, or they'll print them and you get them home and you're like, oh my goodness, that just came out terrible. What's great with these, of course, is that we can just digitally go through them and say, nope, 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 oh yeah. Or take a bunch of them and then save 1 or 2. You know, I'm so much from that generation of sending off things that I don't tend to take pictures like my kids do, where they'll take a bunch, boom, 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 and then save the best one. I wish I could program my brain to do that. All right, so here's my wine bottles. And if you're a camper and you know about Harvest Host, this was a Harvest Host near Florence, North Carolina or South Carolina? I can't remember. North, I think. And if we are not boondockers by any stretch of the imagination. So what that means is, you know, just park out in the, with no electricity, maybe in no water, no sewer, and you're just kind of living off the, if you have, you know, you have to do without, good long shower, you have to do without using electricity or sewer, and then you got to find a dump station. We're just not into that. So to stay at a Harvest Host, most of the time it's, you know, wineries or museums, farms. It's so cool, and you can stay overnight for free, you know, and you want to show your appreciation by purchasing something at their farm or their winery or whatever. We have lucked out and found 2 where we actually get all of those amenities. I mean, those services. We have water, we have electricity, and you know, they have a dump station. And when you stay one of these places, you usually don't unhook because you're just spending one night and you're just there to, you know, be on your way. So we were really lucky to find some that had those services for us. And one we stayed at, it was pouring rain, and we're looking forward to going back to that one. Really cute place. So if you're interested, you know, leave me a comment and I'll let you know where those places are. Oh, and now my friend here, my cute little friend, she's just adorable. So I'm adding some pictures here, and they all need to dry. And once this dries, we'll move on to the next layer. One thing I do want to add while I'm thinking of is another piece of texture. I've got the cardboard texture, but this is actually a piece of bark from actually one of the campgrounds that we stayed in. So I think I'm going to add it have to decide. I have 3 pieces going that way, and I want to have one to counteract that. And I think I'm going to use it right here. And I just use layer upon layer of Elmer's glue, layer upon layer, and it gets very thick and clear, and I just love the way it looks.